So our intention for this one is for whoever's listening to truly release what is blocking them and remove fear, or to do it scared.
Let it go. Oh, I forgot to say that out loud.
Say it now.
Let it go. Let it go.
Hello and welcome back to the STFU Moment Podcast. I am your host, Kristy, and I'm here with my beautiful co-host, Akansha. And today we want to talk to you about letting go and what that actually means.
This may not be easy, but we both want you to know that letting go is as easy as it sounds. And by that, I don't mean that you can do it in a blink of an eye. It's definitely a practice. A roller coaster ride sometimes, but what's important in this journey is to protect your vision and your energy.
That's really what it comes down to. Letting go of the fears or your own created blocks so that you can keep the vision alive and clear. With that being said, Akansha, how do blocks or fears show up in your everyday life?
To be very honest, Kristy, I think fears and these blocks, they're just another detour. They're there to protect you, to help you grow in your business. And I was reading it a few weeks ago where it said that, and I think I posted it and shared it on our channel too, where it was along the lines that if you cannot afford therapy, start your business, because you don't realize how your business, owning and running a business, ends up making you a better version of yourself. With that being said, I remember initially when I had started working, I was so desperate for that clientele. And this is, I think, 2019, 2020. I was so desperate to build my clientele that to go viral, to have people come in and make this huge amount of money, because I always thought that running a business is easy. The money should always flow to you. And now till I think a few months ago, I was in that desperate energy. And I've done things that I shouldn't have done. And by that, what I mean is if people come in and be like, oh, we're not comfortable paying a certain amount for a service. Initially, I would just give them a discounted price because, hey, X amount of money is still better than the Y amount of money, and not really realizing and validating my own time, my own learning, the whole practice that I went through. So does it show up even today? In different ways, in a different form, but not in that desperate energy anymore. And I think that attachment of having that end result and wanting it happen so bad is what creates those blocks. But when you're doing your work with the pure intention of serving and creating that intentional space for people, you don't care at the end the result. So I don't know if I'm still in that energy, maybe somewhere or the other, in different sects of my life, but not as much as business. So with that, Kristy, I'm curious to know, what is something that you are practicing letting go of or have let go of that was pivotal in your business?
There's a couple of things that come to mind when I think about things I've had to let go of. And you know me, Akansha, I've had this weird thing with how, I spend my time.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really wanted to be efficient. I wanted to be, get all the things done in a day. And when I talk to other people about it, it's funny because they'll have I'll tell them my 26 things that I want to do on my to-do list, and I can get them done in a day if, I really am efficient or whatever that looks like.
I'm just going to say it's an Aries energy.
Through and through.
Yeah.
But when I tell people what I do in a day, they're like, Kristy, we do that in 2 weeks time. And you did that in less than 24-hour period. So it came down to hustling, that I had to be efficient with my time, because the underlying fear was I'm behind. What if it doesn't work out? I need to give it my all and by all I mean way over my all. So in doing this business, I now can kind of step back and look at my day and schedule it according to how I'm feeling with like the energies that I have during, like, especially for women, we're have our cycles really influence like our energy levels. So instead of trying to do everything all at once and not being satisfied when I don't get it all done, I'm much more in tune with what I do in a day. So I think the biggest thing for me was to let go of. And I still have my moments. Like, I wouldn't say like I completely let it go. I still have those times where like that past kind of version of me kind of steps in and is like, oh, you need to push harder. You need to get ahead. Like, what if it doesn't work out? But I think that was the biggest thing, like changing that and from what if it doesn't work out to what if it does.
You know, that's so interesting that you bring that out because I've always said that changed the narrative of the story. You're in the control of it. Take control of your mind rather than letting your fears run your life. And it's been a practice. It's something that doesn't happen overnight. I'm sure with you too. Like for me, that fear was so huge that I was ready to do anything and everything that I was getting so desperate, as we talked about, right? But letting go of it slowly, rewiring my own brain and asking myself this question, where is this coming from? Is this actual reality or is this my own anxiety or is it my own irrational fear that's taking over me? That is something that I've been still doing it today. And I want to know, like, what is something that you do when those moments come
in? The biggest thing that I've been practicing lately is like letting the thought like go, like let it run its course, not forever, but just for that moment. And then immediately after, I just like, okay, choose. And I can either choose to believe that thought and let it kind of enter into an energy of a person that isn't someone who runs a business successfully, who is, stressed all the time, who isn't efficient. Or I can look at myself in the mirror and be like, you did a damn good job today. So you don't need to believe that thought. That's something that's trying to kind of pick you apart, or not even, it's not so much self-sabotage, but in a way it is like trying to take me down to keep me on that lower level because that's what was comfortable. But now I'm just like, no, I'm choosing to believe that this is actually what happened.
So what I'm getting is that if we want to really dissect this letting go of and that fear, somewhere or the other, coming back to it, it's associated with some kind of traumas of our life or people pleasing because we keep on telling ourselves we're not good enough. But where's that thought coming from? Why are we self-sabotaging us to a point where we've made it into a reality of thinking that, oh, I am not good enough to do it? And why does that cycle keep on repeating? To me, I did not even acknowledge it till a friend of mine, she was visiting me and she stayed with me for a couple of days and we were talking about certain things. And I remember she was telling me, I am so proud of you, Akansha. And I was like, for what? I haven't done anything. Why are you so proud of me? Like, I haven't achieved anything in my life. And she said, are you crazy? Because you started it as a concept. Then you ran it through your parents' basement. Then you wanted to open another store that didn't work out. To having a store now, a full store where people are coming. And the reason you feel that you haven't achieved anything is because the moment you reach that goal, your goals change and it become different. So acknowledging that, yes, I have done it, and that too by yourself, you really need to give your pat to yourself in the back. And since that day, I have started this small practice that has changed a lot. Anytime I have a fear or a moment of doubt, I start with gratitude. And I just go and be like, I'm so thankful for everything that universe has given me. And today this happened and that happened. And then I come and attack my fear. Okay, where is this coming from? Let's deep dive. Is it an anxiety that is related to something? Is it my people pleasing? What am I actually afraid of? And writing it down. And that has helped me to create a practice of letting go.
I completely agree. You really have to notice what the fear is. And like you said, it could be a past trauma. It could be something that somebody said to you in like not even an intentional way, just like in passing. And you've let it fester. Like you've taken that, used it as your thought, and then you let it fester in the body. And then over time, eventually you believe that that's your truth, or that's what's going to happen, or that's what, like, they predicted it, so it must be true, or whatever you're taking on in that way. So I think it's a good practice to step back and just be like, either write it out, or like I said, really question like what is the truth. And even if it doesn't like show up in your reality as truth in that moment, choosing it anyway to what you would love, and let go of that limiting thought.
True. And I mean, when I was going through therapy myself, and I had the same question to my, like, I asked her the same question. I was like, why am I so attached to that negative outcome or that thought? Like, why does it fester in me? And she told me something so sweet and beautiful. And that was, Akansha, it's not your fault. We humans are designed to catch and hold on to the negativity much more than the positivity. Mm-hmm. So in those moments, ask why. Mm-hmm. And keep on asking the why until you get the answer that you're looking for.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so Akansha, let's break it down for the listeners. Mm-hmm. What would you say is letting go really at its core?
I think in true essence, letting go is so different for each individual. For me, letting go is trusting and having that faith in the universe or God, whatever you want to name it, and knowing that there is a better outcome for it. And in that moment of stress, I'm not able to see the bigger vision, mm-hmm. but there is a reality. And this is just a roller coaster. It's just a moment, and I can choose to give up in this moment, or I can choose to believe in myself and believe in my bigger vision, because hey, it's easy to give up, but it's hard to trust and go forward and do things. To me, and letting go is maybe crying about it for a day or two and then jumping back at it and be like, okay, let's start again. Letting go sometimes is also calling your friends post 10 p.m. and telling them that, hey, I'm really in a bad mood, or this has been really creating an issue for me. Help me out. And that friend, they will help you out and they will help you achieve that letting go. Letting go is community. Letting go is your sisterhood. Letting go is love and trust. How much do you love yourself and trust your own self and the universe to be like, this is not my problem right now, and I'm just going to do my work with true faith and surrender myself to my work and believe in my vision for it to come true. Because, yes, as you said, sometimes we fester the thoughts of a different individual and they become our reality, but that's not our reality. Another individual is not in your same exact shoes. Might be in a similar situation, but not in the exact same situation as you are. So why are we letting someone else's opinions tell us how to run our business or our life? Like, no, I'm going to take that control back to me. And I think this is a quote from Mel Robbins, so don't quote me on this. But that's the reality, right? It's how much do you started your business with a vision, and you were so pumped about it. Like, okay, this is what's going to happen. This is how I'm going to run it, and blah, blah, blah. You painted a whole picture. And now you're letting other people come and spray black color on your beautiful colored vision that you've created, and they're not losing anything. It's nothing. It doesn't cost them anything to say those things. People are entitled to their opinions. Let them be. You don't have to agree to every single thing another person is coming and telling you. Stand up for yourself. And that is letting go. Yeah. Believing in your vision.
I think that's really what it comes down to. Like, the core of letting go is trusting that everything is going to work out exactly as you need. All you have to do is just be in the energy of it. You don't have to, you can't build something from the state of fear.
That's so true. I think I also love this quote that you actually have been saying it a lot, and that is, I'm living in the present moment. And then when you live in that present moment and you let the fear, the attachment to the fear of what if it doesn't work out, leave,
Yep.
that's when you start believing much more in yourself and you're back at it. So, Kristy, that kind of makes me wonder if you can shed some light as a yogi and a mentor. What really happens when we let go?
Magic.
Okay, say more.
Well, it's like you are releasing all blocks. You have a brick wall in front of you, and that brick wall is all your fears, all your doubts, all your anxieties. And when you focus on that, you can't move past it. You are literally bumping into that wall over and over and over again. But when you can see outside of that, when it's kind of like when you let go of that, you change direction, and now you can go through the door instead of bumping into the brick wall. You can actually move past, and then you open the door, and there's your vision. There's the thing that you've wanted this entire time, but you couldn't see it because you were so focused on trying to get through this brick wall when there was a door right there, but you were blocked. You were so fixated on the doubt, the it's not going to work out, you can't do this, you don't have the know-how. But when you let that go, doors appear, opportunities come, clients come in, you enter into this beautiful flow state where when you're in flow energetically, you're calling more of that flow to you. When you're in blocks and resistance and doubt, you're boxing yourself in. You can't go anywhere. You can't see anything else. But when you let go, magic. Poof, there comes a door. And it's literally that easy. It comes when you energetically align with, this isn't serving. This isn't who I am. At my core, this isn't my truth. So when you let that go, then you realize your truth. You realize that you can do it. You realize the dream is yours for a reason. You realize your purpose is meant to be yours and you need to go for it.
I love that. It's taking the right steps in order to achieve and become more attractive.
Mm-hmm.
Not attractive, attracting.
Mm-hmm.
And that truly is magic, because a lot of times when we let go of the fear and the outcome, universe will surprise you with different ways of being attracted to the right client. People will walk in, and similar thing happens. I think when I let go of the fear of what if I don't make the money and how am I going to pay the rent or the bills or whatever it is, and I took action towards it, all of my previous clients that I have not seen for months have started reaching out to me. And I'm attracting new clients who want to know what I do and how I can help them. My content is becoming better. I have that energy to do things. And, in those little moments, I feel so blessed.
So, Akansha, from an Ayurvedic standpoint, what would you suggest to our listeners who are stuck in fear that could shift today?
I think a lot of times, Kristy, that fear and anxiety that is caused by letting go, like not being able to let go, that tells me that if someone is going through a depletion of vata disorder, like vata being activated in the body, because here you are trying to make other people understand your standpoint, or, dealing with it by yourself with the whole situation that is going on. And that is another kind of depletion that no one else is talking about. It not only depletes your mental energy, but also on a spiritual level. And that manifests in your body as diseases too, because your energies is blocked in different points. So I think in that situations where I feel stuck, just to bring me back to my body, I don't do it as much as from the Ayurvedic perspective, but much more from an EFT perspective, is I have a point in my body. So for example, my point is this, or whatever it is. If it's tapping your collarbones, tapping your head, or your any place in your body actually, and I just keep on pressing it. And that's my cue that, okay, come back to your reality. Whatever you're thinking is not the reality. This is right now in this present moment. And once I am in that present moment, I would do Brahmari, which we have talked about in previous episode of, like, it's a type of meditation. I would journal. And more importantly, I have started massaging myself every day, at least the feet, to bring that nourishment back into my body, but also in those tough moments when I don't feel like eating, when I don't believe in any other soul but my own thoughts and my fears, I go make myself a warm cup of tea. Because that warmth really helps you slow down and ask yourself the right questions. And it's not easy. It's not that I just started doing it. I slept one night and I woke up and I was like, okay, this is the shift that I'm going to make in myself. It was a consistent practice that I had to do, and rewiring my own brain. And sometimes when I'm not able to fully let it go, well, not sometimes actually, a lot of times I would call you and I would text you, or I would call another friend and be like, hey, I'm really stuck in this moment, and all it takes is 5 minutes of your friend's time to help you calm down and come back to your body. So I think that's something, not just from an Ayurvedic perspective, but in general, what I've been learning is what's going on.
And that's a really great way for people to just come back into their bodies and just like come back down from the whirlwind that's going on in your head.
So now that we have that Ayurvedic perspective, I want to know, as a yogic, what do you do?
I would suggest for our listeners, something that they could do is start to change the belief that it's easy to let go. Because when people talk about letting go, they feel like there need to be like a 5-step plan. They need to get into, like, it needs to be like this week-long, 2-week-long, month-long thing. And that's coming from like the mechanical, like you want to do to be. And sometimes that works, sometimes that can help. But if we can change our own minds that letting go is easy and enter into that flow state, like I've been really practicing, like I'm letting go and I can let something go in an instant. It doesn't take me weeks, it doesn't take me months. I let it go now. And it helps you enter into that flow state. So like when you let that go, it's now, you kind of think of it as like a river. As you let that go, it's moving down the river, and then whatever is above the river that's meant for you can finally come through, right? So it's like this movement of going through. So let it be easy. Don't tell yourself that letting go is hard, or that you have to hold on to it, or like some people use it as this practice that they have to do daily. I don't believe that I have to do it daily. I believe that it can happen like that.
I love that. It's actually very nice because you have the same point but a different perspective, and that is whatever the viewers want to practice, and that's totally fine. At the end of the day, it's believing that letting go, and whenever that thought comes, it's just being in that flow and being ready to believe in yourself and the universe.
So with that being said, we really want to invite everyone to get what you've been holding on to and consciously shift and let it go and let it be easy.
I love that. And with that, our episode for the day is over. And Kristy and I just wanted to take a couple of seconds to thank you for taking out time to watch us. And we hope you subscribe to our channel and know that we're here to support you in any way, shape, or form that you need. We're not ahead of you and we're not behind you. We're walking this journey together with you.